In the realm of power, where fortunes are amassed, Saudi Arabia's might has forever held steadfast. As the world's oil empire, they've reigned with command, but now a final warning shakes the land. Join us closely as we unravel the whisper. What does this shocking message entail? Let's talk about it all in today's video. In an unexpected turn of events, Saudi Arabia has delivered a final warning that has sent shockwaves around the world. This warning is primarily addressed to anyone who dares to question the country's existence and the kingdom's stability. The significance of this announcement has stirred tremendous interest and worry around the world. Behind this audacious posture is a country that has faced severe hardships, including water scarcity, land deterioration, and sandstorms. Saudi Arabia has struggled to obtain sufficient water supplies for agricultural requirements as well as drinking water due to its dry desert geography and quickly rising population. However, via innovative technologies and sustainable practices, the country has taken great steps to address these concerns. Saudi Arabia has substantially invested in desalination techniques to combat water scarcity, which entails eliminating salt from seawater to create fresh water. This advancement has had a significant impact on water availability, allowing the country to produce a significant amount of fresh water at a low cost. Furthermore, the country has prioritized wastewater recycling in order to lessen the demand for fresh water while also ensuring the safety and usage of reclaimed water. Irrigation and agricultural technologies have been critical in converting Saudi Arabia's desert landscapes into fruitful oases. Drip irrigation and subsurface irrigation have been used to enhance water efficiency and reduce waste. Precision farming methods enable farmers to monitor crop growth and alter water and fertilizer consumption as needed, helping to water conservation initiatives. Despite the challenges provided by soil degradation and sandstorms, the Saudi government has invested much in soil conservation and management strategies. Crop rotation, cover cropping, and other environmentally friendly methods have been put in place to preserve soil fertility and avoid erosion. These initiatives have come at a high cost, but Saudi Arabia's financial capabilities have allowed them to confront these difficulties full-on. Saudi Arabia has emerged as a spectacular success story in agriculture due to their commitment to addressing environmental challenges. The country has attained food self-sufficiency and is now exporting a variety of agricultural products to worldwide markets. This achievement has been made possible by improved soil quality, advanced water retention capacity, and the implementation of modern farming and transportation systems. While Saudi Arabia has made significant progress, the new warning serves as a reminder that the country is committed to defending its sovereignty and existence. The difficulties they have faced have strengthened rather than weakened their commitment. The world is now watching attentively to see how Saudi Arabia responds to any threats to its stability and security. Agricultural success. The expansion plan in the plant resources sector and greenhouses, with new investment totaling SR4 billion, has been approved by Eng Abdulrahman bin Abdul Mohsen Al Fadli, is also the chairman of the board of directors of the Agricultural Development Fund. Al Fadli is the Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture, as well as the chairman of the board of directors of the Agricultural Development Fund. This was accomplished through collaboration with the relevant authorities and companies from the private sector, and its primary objective is to expand the production capacity of the agricultural sector by promoting the utilization of the most recent technological advancements. Eng Al Fadli has verified that the authorized plan will, within the time frame of 2023 to 2025, contribute to additional productivity that is expected to be 430,000 tons. This will raise the entire output capacity of the greenhouses to more than 1 million tons yearly. The overall production capacity at the moment is somewhere in the neighborhood of 613.590 thousand tons, and it is anticipated that the rate of increase will be somewhere around 70%. According to what he said, the purpose of this is to accomplish the goals of achieving national food security, boosting the contribution of the local content, and providing job opportunities in line with the objectives of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030. According to Eng Al Fadli, the growth plan is an extension of the prudent leadership of the kingdom's agricultural sector, which provides unrestricted assistance to the agricultural industry in the kingdom. In addition, he mentioned that the value of the loans that the Agricultural Development Fund had provided to the productive sectors for the year 2022 had surpassed approximately SR5 billion. He stated that the ADF is providing funding for the greenhouses project since it is considered to be one of the most important areas. This strategy is the result of the ministry's desire to improve the effectiveness of this essential sector as well as to work towards the sector's development and long-term viability, given that the sector is a significant component of Saudi Arabia's overall food security. It is interesting to note that preparations for the growth plan in the greenhouses with the most recent technology began earlier. Considering that this method of agriculture has been employed in Saudi Arabia for more than 3 decades, this is a notable development. The cultivation of plants in greenhouses has seen tremendous progress in all of its technical, productive, and protective fields in recent years. This is because greenhouse farming makes it possible to produce crops even when they are not in season and also extends their availability. Greenhouses, which offer protection from a variety of weather conditions and their effects, are also regarded as an essential component for the success of specialized agricultural production, such as organic farming. This is because greenhouses provide protection from the elements. The findings of the studies and research projects carried out by the ministry have shown that the implementation of modern technology in the field of agriculture and within greenhouses has led to a reduction in the amount of irrigation water needed by as much as 60%. In addition to this, the production capacity will be increased, costs will be reduced, quality will be improved, and the earnings that farmers make will also increase. According to the findings of the study, the percentage of return on investment for greenhouses ranged from 15 to 60%, and the number of greenhouses in Saudi Arabia reached 73.542 thousand. According to a study that was released by the Saudi press agency on Monday, the agricultural sector of Saudi Arabia experienced growth of 7.8% in 2021 when compared to the previous year. When compared to the previous year's value of SR 67.05 billion, the value of the agricultural output during the period was estimated to be SR 72.25 billion, making it the highest it has been in more than 5 years. The expansion is credited to the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture's plans, which have been implemented by Vision 2030. In addition to that, the ministry noted that the recovery from the widespread outbreak of the coronavirus disease also contributed to the expansion of the industry. The production of agricultural goods in the kingdom was predicted to be worth 65.29 billion riyals in 2017, 65.49 billion in 2018, and 66.2 billion in 2019. It recorded somewhere around SR 67.05 billion in 2020, and it should be noted that the sector's contribution to the gross domestic product as a whole amounted to 2.3% last year. On the other hand, the contribution of agricultural output to non-oil GDP was 3.6%, which is an increase of 0.2% compared to 2020. The Ministry of Economy and Commerce emphasized that the kingdom's balance of trade achieved a surplus of SR 462.5 billion, which is an improvement from 2020, which recorded SR 134.5 billion due to higher exports during the year 2021. The total value of agricultural goods exported was SR 13.16 billion. Water sector development. To ensure that it can fulfill the rising demand for potable water and wastewater infrastructure, Saudi Arabia's water sector will need to improve. The country faces a significant environmental issue as a result of economic growth, population expansion, fast urbanization, and rising energy and water demands. The water sector's budget line item for the Saudi Arabian government in 2022, which is under economic resources, is $14.4 billion, down 34.4% from 2021. However, this decrease in spending does not signify a change in the government's priorities about water. Rather, it is consistent with the government's goals of raising private sector investment in this industry. Saudi Arabia's population is projected to increase from 34.8 million to over 40 million people between 2022 and 2030. Since the 1950s, the nation has relied on desalinated water to guarantee that the populace has access to a dependable source of drinkable water. Less than 40% of the nation's water resources are groundwater, which is mostly used for agricultural purposes. In comparison to a baseline volume of 7.2 million per day in 2018, the population growth rate is predicted to have a substantial impact on wastewater generation, resulting in a 50% increase in wastewater generation. The strategic goals of Saudi Arabia's national water strategy are to deliver cost-effective and high-quality water and wastewater services, safeguard and optimize the use of water resources, preserve the local environment for the highest benefit of the Saudi society, ensure water sector competitiveness, and ensure access to adequate quantities of safe water under normal operating conditions and during emergencies. Water sector business in Saudi Arabia. While U.S. exporters are not required to work with a local Saudi agent or distributor to do business with Saudi firms, it is highly advised that they do so to keep track of business opportunities, navigate import and standard testing laws, and find opportunities for public sector sales and contracts. All government procurement in Saudi Arabia is governed by procurement law, including MIWA and WIRA tenders. The procurement portal, Etamad, which acts as a consolidated repository for all government tenders, is managed by the Ministry of Finance, which also serves as the overall authority for the law and its execution. Water is one of the industries that the NCP intends to privatize under Vision 2030, although SWPC has established itself as the industry's top procurement body. U.S. enterprises should search the SWPC and WTCCO websites for opportunities in addition to the procurement possibilities listed on the NCP website. According to its budget in 2022, Saudi Arabia intends to entice domestic and foreign capital by putting out for bid 10 projects totaling around $3.2 billion, with an emphasis on transmission networks, strategic storage, sanitation, and water desalination. By 2030, MIWA intends to supply 90% of Saudi Arabia's water needs with desalinated water and 10% through ground and surface water. A 4.5 million per day water shortage would need the construction of additional urban desalination plants based on the committed water supply and the current urban water demand. About half of the total wastewater produced in Saudi Arabia is covered by the country's present and projected sewage networks. According to data from 2018, Saudi Arabia has a total wastewater treatment capacity of about 5.6 million meters per day, with 3.2 meters per day under construction and 0.4 million meters per day slated for decommissioning. A total capacity expansion of 8.4 million per day is needed to reach the treatment goals for 2030. After China and the U.S., Saudi Arabia's water reuse market is thought to be the third largest in the world, valued at $4.69 billion by Gulf State Analytics. Saudi Arabia has 204 wastewater treatment facilities as of 2019. A lot of the non-potable wastewater that has been treated finds usage as gray water, which is used to irrigate agriculture, water urban green areas, or is recycled in industry. By 2025, Saudi Arabia wants to reuse all of the treated wastewater from its cities. Saudi Arabia hopes to reuse over 90% of its water by 2040, compared to only 65% presently. This would help the country further reduce leakage and waste. That's all for the video today. We will be right back with more such videos. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.